So it's almost 6 o'clock and I'm alone and power's out, so I'm just gonna record something. I don't really know. Basically, I'm gonna go and ramble about why you should never start overdosing on diphenhydramine, also known as the brand name Benadryl, and it's commonly known as the allergy medication and the sleep aid. Yada yada yada. You know what I'm talking about. That stuff. The pink pills, basically. Here's why you should never start overdosing on that stuff. It completely fucks with your memory, fucks with your mind, completely trashes your concentration and judgment. It, like, imagine doing really stupid, risky shit because you don't care. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm known to do that anyway, so it's probably not just the Benadryl doing that, but uh, I'll just say now, it basically makes you not really care about things you should probably care about. And like I said, I'm still known for that, so it wasn't just the Benadryl doing that, so it makes it that. And basically, if you have issues with that in general, the Benadryl will just make it worse, because imagine storing stuff that you really shouldn't store on a public machine on a public machine. And there you go. I'm not really going to go into detail, but you get the idea. And also doing other risky shit, because you don't really give a shit. And imagine basically just sitting there and just wasting your time. And imagine having periods where time feels like it's going really slowly. Like okay, there's one time when I was on it. I think this was the time I took like 400 milligram one night. Uh, what is it? Okay, I was reading an article online, right? I was listening to music. I was listening to the song that's only like a minute long. I'd finished the article and the song wasn't even over yet. Yeah. What else is there? Imagine having nights that feel like they take forever. Imagine basically having the thing where it's like, okay, like back to that time I took like 400 milligram. I think it was 400. I can't remember, to be honest with you, but when I was walking around like down the hallway to go use the restroom, which I had to do a lot, by the way. And when you overdose on that shit, you have to use the bathroom. You would just have to keep pissing, and it's one of the most annoying fucking things. But basically, I would go to the bathroom, I'd be looking at the floor, and I'd see all these little black dots, like, everywhere. And I think that's what people call the Benadryl spiders. I don't see anything like spiders or anything, but I had hallucinations I wouldn't call scary, and I could tell they were hallucinations, but they were definitely caused by the Benadryl, because I don't normally get those in real life. I mean, sometimes do, but very rarely. I have to be, like, really tired or in, like, kind of a weird mood, and I'll sometimes get shit like that. Nowhere near extreme as the Benadryl, or as extreme. What else is there? You will have to constantly feel like you have to drink water because your mouth will be dry as fuck, also known as cotton mouth. It will completely fuck up your memory and concentration, so, like, okay, and by the way, that's people in the background, you probably can't even hear them, but yeah. So, okay, like, for example, I was in a Skype call with my boyfriend, right? And fucking basically he said I completely spaced out for 5 minutes, and it didn't even feel like that to me. It felt like nothing. It, like, and then another Skype call, I was playing Sonic 06 with one of my friends. We were having it was a Skype call where we were like, hey, who can get farther in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, right? So basically what I did was I took Benadryl for some reason. We both, like, hey, we'll both get high on Benadryl and see who can get farther in Sonic 06. At one point, I was apparently describing to, and this was before, like, oh, hey, the power's back. But before we were together, basically, I was talking with now my current, now my boyfriend, in a Skype call, and he said later on that apparently at one point I was starting to say something, completely blanked out for an entire minute, then finished it after the topic had already been dropped. And the thing is, I think I remember that happening, and to me, it felt like only what, 25, maybe 10 seconds of spacing out and just losing my concentration. So it really screws up your judgment of time and just everything, and yeah. What else does it do? Oh yeah, you'll feel really weak, but you'll feel heavy at the same time. Like, you'll feel like you're both floating and you weigh, like, a ton. And that is one of the strangest feelings. And it's almost kind of freaky, but I got used to it. And the other thing is, I basically got addicted to it, and I was taking it every night. Like, right before I'd go to bed, and I would end up staying up at night, because it... Let's just say it did not help with my insomnia. In fact, if anything, it probably made it worse, because I basically started staying up all night, and not being able to sleep, and then falling asleep at 7, waking up at, like, sometime in the afternoon, repeat. And I would just keep going in the cycle, and that was for about a year, I want to say. Maybe about 9 months, 10 months, because the first couple times I took Benadryl, the first time I took it, I took like 250 milligram, and I basically just kind of played Counter-Strike Source until about like 5 in the morning and went to bed, so it wasn't really that interesting. I didn't really see anything or hear anything. Oh yeah, another thing the Benadryl, Diphenhydramine will do to you is you'll start getting audio hallucinations. Like, okay, imagine like you're listening to music, or like you have like a fan in your background, like white noise, like ceiling fan or something, like, or desk fan or something, and you start hearing people saying things in the fan, like in the noise, in the white noise. Like, you will hear people saying your name. You'll just hear just general mumbling, like nondescript. You can't really make out what they're saying, but you can hear talking. I would sometimes get that with some music, but I don't really remember that too much. I just remember it mostly with white noise. And then the other thing is, imagine not being able to remember almost the entirety of a year. For example, I do not remember the end of 2014 much. I mean, I remember it, but I don't even remember most of 2015. Only near the end of it, and only bits and pieces of the end. And I'm just saying, I only remember small little things in 2015, so I'm just saying I barely remember that summer, and I forgot a lot of the things I did that summer. So it completely trashes your long-term memory while you're on it, and I'm off of it, and I still sometimes have issues with long-term memory, but I've always had issues with that, so it just made it worse, basically. What else is there? There's a vent over there. Oh, light, it's so bright. Where was I? I don't even know. Basically, long story short, and I'm not even sure what to say anymore. There's probably another video I could make on this, and I'll probably go into more detail, but basically, I just gave you a number of reasons why you shouldn't take diphenhydramine. It completely messes with your sense of time, completely fucks up your memory short-term and long-term, and it just completely fucks you up. Never fucking start taking that shit. Like, oh yeah, another thing I apparently did was I was apparently recommending people take it while I was on it, and I sort of remember that too, which is the weird part. I actually remember doing that. And I'm just saying, now that I'm completely, like, cold turkey, I just stopped taking it entirely. I would never recommend it to anybody. I would never, ever do that. I would never say that anyone should take it. And apparently I was saying it was helping me, which it wasn't, because I was still having sleeping issues. In fact, if anything, my sleeping problems actually got worse when I started taking it, so I'm not even sure why I said that, but, whatever. Just, yeah. And that's why you shouldn't ever take diphenhydramine in large doses. Yeah. I don't even know. Whatever. That's, yeah, just never do it, basically.